3 tips to transform obstacles into opportunities. It really sucks when you're so passionate about achieving your goals, but things just keep going wrong. You experience so many setbacks that you start wondering whether you should just give up. Unfortunately, that's what most people do. They give up because it's too hard. But what if I was to tell you that obstacles are all a part of the process? I call them failure's twin brother because they're a necessary component of success. It would be wonderful if success was simple, that when you set out on your journey, you arrive without any hindrances. But it doesn't work like that. It never has, and it never will. Every successful person in the world experienced major setbacks before getting their big break. Had they given up when things got tough, we wouldn't know people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Nicole Kidman, Katy Perry, or Jim Carrey. They all had terrible starts to their career, but because they persevered, they are some of the most successful people in the world. There's no easy route to success. You'll experience many difficulties along the way, but if you know how to transform obstacles into opportunities, eventually you will arrive at your destination. Here are 3 tips on how to transform your obstacles into opportunities. 1. Change the way you look at the obstacle. Have you ever been really excited about something only to end up disappointed because things didn't turn out as planned? The next time something like that happens, I want you to thank the universe or the higher power that something greater is on the way. I believe in divine timing, and when everything is aligned, what belongs to you will arrive. Did you know that the Kansas City Star newspaper fired Walt Disney from his animation job because they felt he lacked imagination and had no good ideas? Imagine that. He then bought an animation studio, and that didn't work out either. He ended up having to file for bankruptcy. Today, there's probably not one person in the world who can't name a Disney character. Walt Disney died in 1966, but his legacy continues because he refused to give up. Walt Disney had to get fired from his first job, and his first animation studio had to fail so that he could enter into his true destiny. Had he remained an employee with the Kansas City Star newspaper, he most likely would have worked there for the rest of his life. I believe it is situations like this that push people into their purpose. Oprah Winfrey once said, "There's no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction." She knows this to be true because Oprah Winfrey was also fired from her first job as a news anchor. The lead producer told her she was unfit for television news. Being fired led to her hosting her own television show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, and the rest is history. Today, Oprah is worth $2.8 billion. I could dedicate an entire series to people who, on the surface, it looked like they had failed, but they rose out of the ashes and became extremely successful. I mentioned in another video, I'll link it in the description box, that failure is a necessary part of success. I came to that conclusion because of stories like Oprah Winfrey's and Walt Disney. I believe it is a success principle. Therefore, the next time it appears as if a door has been slammed in your face, remember that you were not meant to walk through it. Instead, keep walking down the corridor until you find that door you were supposed to walk into. 2. Maintain a positive mindset. It's easy to be positive when things are going well and everything is working out according to plan. You're happy, excited about life, and you don't have a care in the world. But what do you do when it isn't? The average person throws in the towel. They decide that their dreams were not meant to be and they give up. It makes logical sense to give up when you're working on your dreams and all hell is breaking loose around you. Surely all these obstacles must mean that it wasn't meant to be. that the universe is sending you a strong message not to continue. The truth is that obstacles are a sign that you are headed in the right direction. Let me explain. In general, when children, not the spoilt ones, ask their parents for something really expensive, they never get it straight away. Sensible parents make their child prove that they really want what they're asking for because, firstly, they're not about to waste money. And secondly, they are teaching their children an important lesson that life isn't easy and you won't just get what you want because you asked for it. They might make them do more housework than normal for a certain amount of time, or expect them to get good grades for the next few months. It's only when the child has proved themselves by doing what their parents have asked them to do that their shiny gift arrives. The universe operates in a similar way. It will test you to determine whether you actually want what you've asked for. And these tests are never easy. But during this time of testing, maintaining a positive mindset is essential because it keeps you focused on the end goal. A positive mindset doesn't mean you're walking around with a smile on your face pretending as if everything is okay when you're struggling. It means continuously reminding yourself that you might not be where you want to be, but you will eventually get there. 3. Improve your problem-solving skills. Instead of allowing the obstacle to defeat you, find a way to defeat it. What you're facing might seem impossible to overcome, but by putting your thinking cap on and coming up with strategies to work your way around the problem, you'll find that the obstacle wasn't as stubborn as it had originally appeared. Here are a few tips on how to improve your problem-solving skills. Understand the problem. Albert Einstein once said, "If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions." In other words, most people struggle to come up with a solution because they don't understand the problem. Once you have a full understanding of the problem, you'll find it a lot easier to find a solution. Brainstorm solutions. Creating a list of solutions will give you something to work with. Write down everything that comes to mind, regardless of how ridiculous it seems. Evaluate the solutions. Now that you've come up with a list of solutions, you'll need to evaluate which one will work best for you. This could mean analyzing things such as cost, time, or your emotional investment. Manage your emotions. It's normal for you to be emotionally connected to your dreams. However, when it comes to problem solving, you can't allow your emotions to lead you. The best decision might involve doing something you don't want to do, in which case, you would need to put your emotions to one side. In one of my videos, I'll link it in the description box, I said that humans prefer comfort over hardships. This is one of the main reasons why people will surrender their obstacles. They find trying to overcome them too difficult. I experienced so many setbacks after I wrote my first book that I was ready to quit. I felt as if I was stuck behind a gigantic mountain and I had zero motivation to climb over it. But because I persevered, I'm now a successful independent author. I quit my 9 to 5, which I hated. I travel all over the world, and I'm living my best life. You will never achieve your dreams if you allow obstacles to hold you back. Instead, transform them into opportunities, and you'll find that you have the power over everything that attempts to stand in your way. Now, I am in no way suggesting that transforming your obstacles into opportunities is easy. I know from experience that it is extremely difficult. But I also know that it can be done because I've done it. So, my advice to you is trust the process because it will most definitely be worth it in the end. If this video has helped you in any way, smash the like button and share it with friends and family. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you are alerted every time I post a new video.